Hi, welcome to this brief tutorial on how to use the new manifest feature. This is intended as just a quick introduction. Contents will be coming more detailed that you'll be able to share internally, but this is just to make sure everyone's up to speed on how this new feature works so that they can use it in their operations. So we had the contents feature for quite some time, and we found that it was not enough for what people needed. They wanted to be able to identify a transport or a grouping of contents and see that as a historical route or look at it as an audit. So that's how manifest has come about. So this is intended as a complement with contents, and the main difference now is that contents is no longer linked to a tracker, but contents is linked to the manifest. And the manifest acts as a grouping of contents to a tracker across a certain time from a certain place. So to get started, you can create one directly from the manifest screen here on the left. Or you can actually access this screen as well directly from a tracker. So if you have scanned a tracker out in the field, you can use the Create Manifest button right here. And that will populate the screen and let you get started. So a manifest only requires a few things as a bare minimum. It requires the tracker, requires a name, which we provide a default, which you can change. And a start place is preferential. So the start place is where the contents is being added or where the package is being loaded or created with a tracker being assigned to that tracker. The target destination is where it's going. Deadline is when you want it to get there by. So manifest will be considered a pass or fail based on these results. If it ends somewhere that isn't the target destination, it will be considered as a fail or alert status. And if it ends after the deadline, it'll also be considered an alert status. So from the screen, we can change our tracker or even scan a different QR code to swap the tracker out. We can change our start place by using the search feature, and we can also do the same for target destination and deadline. From here, we can choose to simply start the manifest, which means now the manifest is being considered as being live with a tracker. So that tracker is recording this manifest and collection of contents throughout its journey. We can create it, which means it's ready to go. We might be adding contents at this point or still waiting to find out where it's going or waiting to see when it's supposed to be there by. And we can also jump ahead and go straight to add contents. So this is the familiar adding content screen, which has changed not very much, but it does now require the place. And we've improved the speed at which you can add contents here just by hitting enter, or if you have a barcode scanner which returns a return or enter key after the enter the line, it'll add things sequentially one by one. So you can add contents very, very quickly. Contents as before, you can add your own internal fields. So maybe you need to provide some information about the contents you're adding. So let's just say we're going to call this one some yellow contents. You can create a description or add some tags as well. So this will apply for all subsequent contents. So you can see I've added the tag there, and if I add this a couple of times, it will keep adding that same contents. So nice and quick, and you can assign that directly to the manifest. So I'll go submit. So the contents has been added to my manifest now, and on my tracker screen here, the manifest will be showing up there just created by me. You can see where we've got my contents on there. So trackers can have multiple manifests at any given time. And you can see the start of this one is not started because I've only created it. Now on the manifest screen, this is where you can see all the details about that collection and who added it and when it was added. So in this case, we've got my tracker at the top. This is a sample transport container with an asset ID. We can see it hasn't been started. We can see that name that I created, and then the contents as well. When it was added, who added it, and this provides a really good application for chain of custody, because now you know that all of this contents, even though it was added by that, may have actually been picked up by someone else. And that's what start is intended for. So we can say start. This will say, where is it starting? Where is it going? So we can say it's going to Binary Med, and we're hoping it's going to be there by tomorrow at around midday. And then start. So now this manifest is considered as started. We can see who started it. So it may have been created and populated by someone else. For Med, this would be people adding contents, so sample tubes, or maybe that was when it was packaged up to be shipped somewhere overseas. We can see when it was started and when it was due, and where it currently is. So now this manifest lives with the tracker, and all those contents can be tracked throughout that journey. But the tracker can also track multiple things. So it could be managing multiple manifests at once if you've got a couple of collections or combined into a box, or we've just got our one manifest with one tracker, and we're expecting that to get to a certain place. So as the tracker proceeds, it will be recording all the standard tracker data that we've always captured. All that will be associated now with this manifest. So when it arrives somewhere, we can say it's ended. We can say it's ended at Binary Med. That manifest is completed, and we've got all that recorded here. We can see who started it, who ended it, who picked it up, who dropped it off. We can see what contents were there, their status, where it started, where it ended. So now this screen is also acting as a record of this trip. So all of that tracker data is all associated with that tracker, with that contents for that whole trip there. So from this start point to this end point. So this is where it can then be saved for being recorded later. And on the tracker itself, if it was to be scanned, would now see that manifest there is identified as being finished okay. So this can record multiple manifests as it goes, and rather than having all the contents associated with the tracker, we now group them as part of that manifest. I hope this has given you a good overview of how manifests work and why we think it's a good improvement from the contents model that we've had in the past. Of course, if you have any questions, you can reach out to me in email at james@binarytech.io, or however you'd like to contact me. And as I said, there will be more contents around this feature, including more tutorials and some updates to our user guides. So thank you very much.